You're going.
Yeah. You can come in if you want. The board here, this whiteboard will have the cows' diet. Their graining portions that you need for when they're going to be inside here. And there's Hattie, Lucy, Dolly, and Ethel. And Ethel, of course, is the baby. And we will have 1 full bottle of milk that we give her after we feed, or after we've done all the milking. We'll have 1 big bottle of milk. And so we've got the flakes for outside. 1 flake to Yoda, which is our goat, and she's right across the way over there. And 3/4 can of grain to Yoda, and I don't know if we have done that yet today. Hattie is only being milked at night right now. She's cutting down, getting ready for her own calf. So we're starting with Lucy, and she gets 2 cans of grain.
Regulations, yeah.
And the grain is right out here. Do you want?
Yeah, I'll take over.
Okay, good. Sorry, she will take over.
Okay, so the milker needs to make sure that you unlock this gate. These gates are always latched after you go through them because the cows know how to open them, especially Lucy. Okay? So then you can reach through here, turn on the light. And then this light here is plugged in. And this gives us a really good view of the cow's udders. We put a mat down. These mats are washed down after every use. We'll show you that. You put the mat down. Now, we're protecting our cows. We don't want our cows to slip on this slick surface, but we want a clean surface to milk on.
I'm going to go behind you.
Oh, somebody's been in here. So we keep a towel in here, or a clean towel, that we're going to lay down on the mat when we put our inflations on Dolly. Lucy's up high enough where we don't need to worry about her. After you've got this ready, this is the butt board. Make sure that this is up before you bring your cows in, and it latches with that purple bungee like that. The next thing you're going to do is come over here to the head gate. This is the head gate. We're going to make sure that the head gate is latched. And this is our release rope. That goes on the head gate. We're going to open the block on this. This chain I just hooked right there. And now I'm all ready to let my cows out after they've been milked. You put your grain bin down, and each cow, like she said, has its own diet. And this is because we want to keep the condition of the cows up. You increase the grain as they're increasing their milk supply, and you decrease it as you start to taper them off. We have a mineral and salt mix there too that we also add on top. So we put our grain in, and then you add about a half a handful of the salt mix on top. We close this because Lucy will try and climb through. So now I'm all ready. When she comes out with the milking machine, she's going to have it turned on and the rags ready for me. Okay, so when we're ready for your cow, come over here. We call in the high-uddered cows first. They'll be more clean, and they usually come to their name. Lucy, come on, Liz. Lucy's our redhead, half Jersey, half Dexter. They come up the ramp. She sticks her head in there to get her grain. We just close this like that. And then on the first calf heifer, I want to show you how we always tie the hind leg that is close to you up on these heifers. The reason for this is to protect the milker, because these heifers have not learned not to kick yet. We're not abusing her. We're not going to hurt her in any way. we're just going to tie this leg. So you run your rope on there, around this post. This is a soft rope, it's not hurting her. Now I'm going to ask her to move this leg back. And this will be training for later on as well. And as she moves that leg back, I'm going to take a little bit more tension out of that rope until she's not standing on her toes, but she's not, there you go. But she doesn't have a lot of room to kick. And so I'm going to take the tension out, wrap this twice around this post, and then put in a slip knot so I can release it quick if something happens. Okay, go ahead and bring in the milking machine. And she'll have everything here ready. We got the T-tip, we got the towels, we've got our rags. Okay, so this cow, you're always going to be on your guard with any cattle that you're milking. Make sure you're not going to get hurt. So we're going to take our udder wash, and I'm going to start on the far side. So if I surprise her, she's going to kick that leg and not this leg. So the first washcloth is for just getting all the dirt off the cow. Okay, I forgot this cow likes to swish her tail, so I'm going to drop this butt board behind her, take my bungee, and take the end of her tail, and you just clip that up so she's not going to swish me in the face with her tail. And that's a training method too. Now I'm going to go with a one rag to each quarter and clean each quarter out. If you don't have enough rags, after you get a good swipe, you check it and make sure there's no manure on it, turn it over, go to your next quarter. And so I'm checking to make sure that everything's clean. Okay? Then I'm going to take my dry towel first. I'm going to dry off the udder. Checking again to make sure I haven't missed anything, and I'm moving the towel each time. Then we take our alcohol wipes, and we're going to make sure, and now this is cold, so you be careful when you put it on her, but you're going to make sure that each one of these orifices is clean of any manure. Okay? So you can tip it towards you and look if you need to. And make sure that each one is clean. Then we're going to take our strip cup and we're going to get 5 squirts out of each quarter, checking each time to make sure there's no blood, there's no discoloration, and there's no cheesy looking stuff in there. Okay, go ahead and turn on the machine. Okay. I take another wipe, clean my hands, and then I'm going to take the inflations here. Now if I was doing this by myself, if you're a single, you'd have your cart already out here, your machine already turned on, so you don't have to walk back in there again. I'm going to put at least one of these plugs on these inflations. Make sure your pressure release valve is in and twisted so that you're going to get enough pressure. You want to run this at about 14 psi. Sure I've got enough room here. Okay, then we're going to place these cups. The longest teat goes on first. We don't want to touch the cow's hide or hair with our inflations. So I got 3 inflations on now, and you'll see these clear plastic shells, you can see the inflations pulling a vacuum and the milk starting to flow. We have these so that you can see each teat is giving milk, okay? Then I'm going to take my 4th teat, or my 4th inflation. I'm going to pop the plug out with my finger, put that last inflation on, And now make sure that all 4 quarters are going. Now what we can do that's a little bit different than most is we can see these udders really well. That's why our stanchion's up off the ground to clean them. But we can also see what's happening with these inflations. That's why we use the clear inflations. And see if our placement isn't right. I can now make any changes that I need to make. I don't want to scare the cow by having squeaky inflations. And then we just wait until she's done, which will just take about 3 minutes. Okay, pause.